Hi, Kylie. So if you remember last week, which feels like forever ago, we were learning how to solve systems of equations with elimination. So this is where we left off, but just to focus on just the notes here so we remember the process. So the elimination method, this is the third method in solving systems of equations. And we use this when the equations are lined up perfectly, and you can either take the equations and add them, or you can take them and subtract them to eliminate either x or y. And these started out pretty simple on this page where we would have, equations totally set up for elimination right off the bat by taking them and adding them or subtracting them. And then we worked our way through what happens if there are no common coefficients, meaning you can't just add them or subtract them and things eliminate right off the bat. You either have to multiply one or both equations by specific separate numbers so that the x's or y's end up being the same or opposites. And then it looks like we ended here with number 8. Which was like the hardest that it really gets. So we can go through number 9 and focus on eliminating a variable. And really what I do to start is just focus on the numbers in front of x, the numbers in front of y, and I quickly realized that, I can't add them and anything cancel out. I can't subtract them and anything cancel out. So this is one of those ones where I'm going to have to just pick a variable to eliminate, and it all comes down to what numbers you like better. Like if I look at the x's, 5x and 7x, well, the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Multiples of 7, 7, 14, 21, so on. The least common multiple of 5 and 7 is 35. And that's actually the same number as multiplying, just like 5 by 7, 7 by 5. And 35 is like not a bad number, it's kind of small. If I focus on the y's instead, the least common multiple of 9 and 10 is 90, and like that number is just like a little bit larger, so I don't like that as much. So I'm going to focus on eliminating x. So I'm going to eliminate x in number 9. And I'm going to do that by taking this first equation and multiplying everything by 7, and the second equation and multiplying everything by 5, so that I get 35x at the top and 35x at the bottom. So my system of equations will turn into 35x plus 63y equals negative 70. And then 5 times 7x is also 35x plus 50y equals negative 5. All right, so now time to subtract. 35x minus 35x, gone, eliminates. 63y minus 50y, that's 13y. And then just be careful with this. Negative 70 minus negative 5 is really the same thing as negative 70 plus 5, which is negative 65. And then when I divide both sides by 13, who would have thought 65 is divisible by 13, we get negative 5 as our answer. So once we get one answer, then we can take this number, replace it in for the variable, and solve for the other. So I'm just going to use the original equations. You could also use like one of the two that you made a little bit bigger, but I just usually go back to the originals. And 5x plus 9y equals negative 10 is fine. I'm going to use that one. And we just found that y is equal to negative 5. Nine times negative 5 is negative 45. So when I solve this out, 5x equals, here's another 35 again. We're going to get x equals 7. So altogether, we get 7 for x and negative 5 for y. Checking our answer is super important. So it's something that can be done. It's often something that like students forget to do or don't take the time to do. And it's super simple to just check to make sure, does 5 times 7 plus 9 times negative 5 actually equal negative 10. And it's something that can be done right in the calculator. Like right now, I have my calculator out. I'm doing 5 times 7 plus 9 times negative 5, hitting enter, and yes, it equals negative 10. That's what the calculator tells me. And then again, 7 times 7 plus 10 times negative 5, and that should equal negative 1. Well, 7 times 7 is 49, and then 10 times negative 5 is negative 50. 49 minus 50 is negative 1. It works, so I know that this is 100% the correct answer, which is helpful and good to know if you're like taking a test or whatever. So number 10 is the first question that pops up that is like just not set up for elimination. If we're looking at number 10, we have 2x equals 4y plus 18, and that is not lined up with the second equation, negative 5x minus 6y equals 3. So in this case, when we have equations that are not lined up, we need to line them up to use elimination. And oftentimes, like if it's not lined up and it looks like it's like perfectly ready for substitution, I would just do that. But in this case, if I wanted to line it up, I would just have to move the 4y to the other side, making the first equation 2x minus 4y equals 18. That would be in standard form. And then the next equation was negative 5x minus 6y equals 3. Which is already in standard form. So now at least everything's lined up. The x and x, y and y, equal sign, number. Okay, so now to eliminate. It does not matter what number you use for elimination, or what variable you use to eliminate, I should say. But if I'm looking at the options here, just the fact that I've got negative 4y and negative 6y, I just don't like that they're both negative. I don't know what it is about the negative numbers. I just sometimes feel like people might make mistakes with that. So I kind of like the 2 and the negative 5 for like better, just because at least there's just one positive and one negative rather than both negative. So I want to eliminate x again. So I know it's a negative 5, but just think of it as like a positive for now. 2 and 5, the least common number, the least common multiple of those is 10. So I would multiply the first equation by 5 and the second equation by 2, and we would get 10x minus 20y equals 18 times 5 is 90. And then 2 times negative 5x is negative 10x. 2 times negative 6y is negative 12y equals 2 times 3 is 6. Add them together because we have opposites. These cancel out. Negative 20y plus negative 12y is negative 32y. 90 plus 6 is 96. Now I'm going to take 96 divided by negative 32, and I'm going to get y equals negative 3. Once I have that, I can go ahead and replace that back in for either equation. The first equation is kind of weird, but I'm just going to go ahead and use that one. Oops, there should be a plus sign. And we just found that y is equal to negative 3. Well, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 18 is 6. So we would divide by 2, and we would get x is equal to 3. So altogether, x is equal to 3, and y equals negative 3 as our final answer. So when the equations are not lined up, we need to line them up first before we can actually use elimination. So what I would like you to do is this next page here, homework 4, was actually one of the assignments that everybody was able to complete for class. So this is perfect because we need to start putting in grades. So this is actually one of the assignments, but I don't believe that I assigned every single question. So I'm just going to circle some that I think would be good for us to do for this assignment, and then you can complete it and then send me your work, because these do take some time. So I'm sure that if we were doing this like live and I was giving you time, we would take the whole period or the whole rest of the hour to do them and then talk about it. So what I want you to do is, let's do numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 on that page. And then on the second page, I want you to do 7, 8. Just looking for any strange ones. How about we do 9, and then I'm just going to assign one of these weird ones, 11. So those are the questions I'd like you to do. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 11. Complete them. It's okay if it's not all right. It's not like an accuracy grade. It's just a completion grade. Complete them. I'll check your work and make sure everything looks good. And if it doesn't look good, or if any question doesn't look good, I can send you a video of me going through it so you can check your work while hearing me go through it for you so that it makes sense. And the next time we meet, we'll just continue on and go through the next page. All right? Hope you feel better, and we will be in touch soon.